Welcome to the final episode of Ready Steady Build. Have you enjoyed this series? If so, let me know in the comments, as your feedback helps guide the channel and its content. In episode 1, I opened up this challenge to all of you watching, and the submissions have been looking fantastic. Make sure to tune in next week for the showcase, and a chance to see your own creation on the channel. Our final guest in the series is one of the most popular Planet Coaster streamers on the platform, Poetry Slam 78. Poetry Slam 78, how are you?
Doing well, Moomin. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm always good talking to you.
No.
I was just having a think, and when you did this build, I just checked the date, and it was roughly mid-July, and it was actually pretty much 2 months today that you did this build.
Ah, that's wild.
But the first thing I have to ask you, as I asked everybody else, is where did you get your name from?
Haha. Well, my name is actually my roller derby name. I'm a writer. I actually do write poetry and stories, and I like to slam people around with my hips in roller derby. And of course, a poetry slam is a thing. So, because I'm a big nerd and I also like puns, you have it. And the 78 is, believe it or not, kids, the year I was born. I am an old.
Goodness. See, I thought you were maybe 30.
Yeah, I get that a lot. We can roll with it. We can do that.
Absolutely. You're as old as you feel.
Right. I feel 18.
Good answer. How did you first get into streaming? I know this story, but it's a very lovely one that I'd like to hear again.
Yeah, my oldest daughter, little Beanie Bear in the streams, loved to watch me play Planet Coaster. She actually loved to watch me play any video game, but especially Planet Coaster. And a couple of years ago, she did what most kids do. She grew up and moved out. And she moved to an entirely different country. And she begged me, Mom, hey, can you stream? Because then I can at least watch you play video games. And I was like, no, I don't have the equipment, blah, blah, blah. She said, you have a computer. That's all you need.
Yeah.
And she kept at it. She was very persistent. For about 8 months, she worked on it. In December, I entered an Extrafy giveaway on Twitter and won a gaming mouse. And I was sitting there thinking, the day the mouse arrived, I was like, I don't know, maybe the stars are kind of aligning on this. She's been trying to get me to stream. I've got this cool gaming mouse to use now. Let's just go see what happens.
Go with it.
And I messaged her and I said, Merry Christmas. It was December 24th. I'm gonna stream my first stream just for you, kiddo. And I figured she'd be the only one to ever show up, and that would be fine with me because it gives me time to spend with her.
Yeah.
But of course, it snowballed a little bit.
Absolutely. Well, I'm very thankful that she kept pestering you, and here we are today, where you just surpassed 500 followers, which is incredible.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I know. When I logged on the stream this morning, it was at 501.
Amazing.
And I was just like, oh my gosh, what on earth?
Well, I mean, you deserve many, many more, but congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So tell us, what games do you play on stream?
Well, Planet Coaster, of course. I also play some Fallout 4, that's been a little while. Racked with you.
With moi.
Daisy with a few of my pals. I've played Outlast, I've played Golf with Friends, I've played The Sims 4, City Skylines.
All sorts.
I've played Phasmophobia. So yeah, I'll play just about anything. Planet Coaster is my main game. It's what I stream most days of the week, but I sneak in some other games every now and then.
You got to keep it fresh.
Yeah.
And right now in Planet Coaster, you are building a park called Capital 43. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, Capital 43 was inspired by my Fallout 4 addiction, and it's kind of gone a little bit more retro future than vintage retro future, if that makes sense. It's kind of lost a little bit of the vibe. I'm working on bringing it back. It's going to have a very derelict, nuclear fallout area in the park. Right now, I'm working on all of the fresh, clean stuff.
It's looking incredible.
Yeah, it's looking like South Florida 1950s, and I would think of Fallout as like Midwest 1940s, So, it's a little different, but I like the vibe, I like the aesthetic. It's a lot of fun. It's been a great build so far.
Yeah, no, 100%, really, really good. So let's talk about your build. You were the first to do the challenge, which means that you obviously hadn't seen the pieces before on anybody else's stream, so you probably were the biggest disadvantage, and yet still created this amazing build. But did you have any kind of ideas going into it before you even saw the pieces?
Not at all. I was just thinking, I need to build something cool. This is for Moomin, and I can't let Moomin down.
You'll never let me down.
I had an idea that I wanted to do something with a little bit of an interesting roof line, but I wasn't sure what that would entail. And when I saw the pieces, I thought, well, the words I thought can't be said on YouTube. But if you watch my Twitch streams, you'll hear them.
Lots of them.
I was like, well, what am I going to do with these pieces? Because, of course, there is no TMTK in there, is there?
Nope. Nothing. It's all vanilla as well, no DLC. So, yeah, quite the challenge.
Yep, for sure. But yeah, as you can see, I just started building, and then I went back and undid and redid and undid and redid, and a lot of undoing and redoing.
I know, I love, as you said, the roof line, and I love the general angles that you've got going on there. As we all know, it's not easy to get lots of different angles going on in Planet Coaster, but you pull it off seamlessly.
Thank you.
Tell us a bit about your build process then. How did you tackle this?
Well, pretty much like I tackle any other build. I have no idea what I'm doing, and I just keep doing it until it looks like something, honestly.
That's the best way.
Sometimes I have a plan, sometimes I don't. But in this one, I thought, well, let's make a little food counter, a little quick service food counter thing. And then I started to get the basic shape. I thought, oh, this is really cool, but I remember thinking it looks like an apartment from the 1990s. And I really needed to pull it together a little differently. And you could see me, I'm kind of desperately searching for pieces here. I'm looking for small pieces, I'm looking for lights, I'm really looking for my cables and my hydro beams.
Of course, the poet's number one piece.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then it just kind of, I don't know, it just kind of worked there. As I started to build, I started to see a vision, and then the vision changed as the building changed, and it kind of just fed itself that way until I was done.
You say that you were desperately trying to get away from that 90s apartment feel, but I really like it. It's like it's been converted or like redone into a coffee shop, and I kind of like that vibe.
I just kind of have it kind of has like a Melrose Place coffee shop vibe. Because I'm the only one old enough to get the reference.
But we can all pretend we understand.
You can just do what I do: smile, nod, and laugh.
Yeah, exactly. So how was it working with the limited 100 pieces?
You know, actually, in a weird way, it was a bit freeing because sometimes you suffer a little bit from an embarrassment of riches in Planet Coaster. When we have access to so many different pieces and so much TMTK, you can be struck a little by indecision, especially someone like me who will go back and undo and redo things 8,000 times. When it's limited like this, you can't do that. It's like, okay, this is what you've got, this is what you're working with. It's faster and easier to make a decision. It's like having 3 flavors of ice cream instead of 500 flavors of ice cream. I'm not worried that I'm using the wrong piece.
Well, it's that thing, like there is no kind of faffing looking through the build catalogue trying to find that one piece when they're all laid out in front of you and there's not many to go with.
Right. You know, because I like to use teeny tiny parts from the workshop to build pieces, and that takes quite a bit of time sometimes. But in this case, I had to go with what we had. I couldn't really build pieces out, so... Yeah,
and a lot of time in Planet Coaster is spent searching for that item. Like, you know it exists, and you've forgotten what it's called, but obviously there's none of that either. So, yeah, time saved, but definitely needed in 1 hour.
Yeah, oh, for sure. And this was fresh on the heels of the Games in a Snap contest I did. So
of course,
this was so much easier in comparison to that. Like, this felt very relaxed to me. It was just like a chill stream.
I'm glad, because most people said that this was extremely stressful for them.
If you can do an entire theme park in 2 hours, you can do a building in an hour, right?
You can just do anything, really. Anything at all. So did you struggle with the 1 hour then, or no, because of your previous experience?
No, it didn't really bother me. I knew that I could do a build in 1 hour as long as I didn't get too caught up in changing my mind.
Sure.
That would be the biggest thing that would trip me up, would be the changing my mind. You could see me doing it. I'm changing my mind here.
I love just all the little details that you add, all the different trims and all sorts. It's what really makes the build stand out, because like the basic walls are just so boring, but you know how to jazz them up very well.
Yeah, well, I like texture. In real life, when I look at things, I like to see different variations in height or in depth, because it creates a lot of interest in a really simple way.
Well, you are trained in design. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I have a degree in interior design. It's only a 2-year degree, but it's still. You can be licensed in the state of Florida with a 2-year degree and then 4 years of work experience. I decided to move overseas before I finished that, never got licensed, but I do have a long history in art and design, so...
Yeah, well, it definitely comes out in your builds.
As a decorator, but not as a designer.
No, definitely shows, 100%. What was the hardest part of this challenge?
Well, it's interesting because I'm going to sit here and completely contradict myself, but the hardest part was kind of the limited palette. Not so much that it was limited, but it was chosen by someone else. If somebody had said, okay, choose 100 pieces that you have to use for your build, then it would have been like, oh, okay, I'll choose these 100 pieces and then I'll go with it. But yeah, having them chosen for me, and they're different, it creates kind of a different vibe than what I normally go with. And my first inclination was maybe to try to go rustic or Western, which I noticed a lot of people did.
They did, yeah.
I didn't want to. I didn't want to. I do like a little bit more of a modern, clean, simple look. So,
are there any immediate pieces that come to mind that you would have put there if you were choosing your own pieces? What would you have added?
Oh, definitely would have. Well, you had the thick wood beams, which I really love. I use those a lot. I probably would have used the shorter plain scaffold, just the metal.
Yes. Yeah.
Scaffold pieces. If we're talking about allowing TMT, then the plaster walls, at least the 2x4 one, the kind of the half one.
Yeah.
I really like those because you can rotate them and you can make them diagonal and all of that. And the 1 meter cables from the workshop, because they make really great looking iron fencing. They don't, because they look like iron.
Well, they're just super versatile, aren't they? You can use them for so many different things.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, I do like that you included the art shapes or the basic shapes. I use them extensively. I use them in a lot of my builds. I really think they're one of the most underrated pieces in the game.
They, again, you can use them for so many things. The textures obviously limit you slightly, but I think they're neutral enough that you can keep using them for different things, and it works.
Yeah, as long as you don't mind like a plasticky glow to your eye.
Exactly, yeah. It's got a bit of a shine to it. Are you overall happy with your build?
I'm not unhappy with it. It's not something that I would probably use in one of my parks. However, I did take the build, blueprinted it, and I plopped it in my park, changed the colors, did I take the second story off? I think I may have taken the second story off, changed off all the colors, and it now sits, a very different version of it, but with the same kind of shell, sits in Capital 43.
Lovely. So there we go. There's a reason for people who aren't already following you to hop on over to Twitch and take a look. Do you want to tell us where people can find you?
Yeah, I'm on twitch.tv, PoetrySlam78, and watch this space because there will be a YouTube channel coming soon. You can also find me over on Twitter and Instagram at PoetrySlam78.
She's all over the place.
Oh, and Discord, baby.
And Discord, the Slam fam, of course.
Yeah.
Would you like to tell us what your schedule is?
Sure. I stream Monday mornings at 9 a.m. for however long I feel like it. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. Wednesdays at noon. We've got that Wednesday nooner, baby. Fridays are theme park after dark, starting at 9 p.m. Saturdays I take the day off, and Sundays I am in all day long, starting at about 1 p.m. with Sundays with Slam. These are all Central European summertime.
Incredible. So, I mean, you're hard to miss, really. So everyone should hop on over now and leave a follow. Thank you very much, Poet, for taking part.
Thank you for inviting me to take part. It was a huge honor and a privilege to be in a Moomin YouTube video. I still can't believe it. Somebody pinched me.
Shush!